Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to present to you the release notes of Boyum IT's Beas Manufacturing 2022.02. We're going to start out with the highlights and then outline the new features and improvements of the fresh release. Stay with me and get familiar with all that the new release has to offer. These are the most important areas improved or added in this version. Let's see in details. We improved the exceeding minimum maximum quantity allowed parameter in various functions, added a new web app pull report, enhanced MRP coverage calculation in several areas. We carried out a large-scale improvement in our B1UP integration, the Beas usability package, added a new WMS integration support, and general changes in the system. The allowing of exceeding the minimum maximum planned quantity has been improved with better functionality. The minimum check must always check all bill of materials positions and not only the position on which you make an issue. The parameter always checks all bill of materials positions, supports external production processes, supports serial numbers, batch numbers, different warehouse and bin locations, supports automatic backflushing. The user cannot change the material. It includes new BSL functions that allow to insert this control in every place. It offers better usability and better integration in the web apps. With the maximum and minimum in percent values of the exceeding of planned quantity allowed parameter, now you can set the permitted over and undershoot of work order planned quantity. The maximum and minimum in percent fields are displayed when the exceeding of planned quantity allowed parameter is not set to yes. For more information on the different functions and apps where the parameter is applied and calculation methods, see our new documentation. In the 2022.02 version of Beas, we are launching the Pull Report web app. This app is built to provide the same functionality as the one in the desktop terminal. It is available with the Production Data Collection, Start, Interrupt, Completion, Finished Goods, Scrap license. You can select a resource from the available resources list, then the app switches to the Operations tab, which displays all operations of the pull report and the selected resource. Select an operation from the available operations list. You can search for operations by document number, order number, or operation barcode. After you select the operation, the system displays the operation list. The operations show relevant information: work order number, position, routing position, customer ID, planned start and date times, operation description, and so on. They are also sorted according to predetermined pull priority, which works identically in the desktop terminal version. The third tab displays the details of the operation. Here you can start or stop the operation, see operation instructions, and check image attachments in the lower section of the screen. In the bottom section of the screen, you can see the bill of materials list. For color codes and logon mask icon description and other details, please visit our documentation. A new parameter has been added in MRP calculation. Now Beas allows to cover the demand by date and not only by documents as it was defined before. To enable this new order in demand covering, you must select it in the MRP configuration wizard. The documents affected by this parameter in coverage calculation are work order, sales order, pre-calculations, and user table. Please note that this parameter does not consider forecasts in the MRP calculation. In the MRP order recommendation, in the coverage field, we save text information with the origin of the coverage we have for the selected line. We have modified the information as follows. In the MRP, the system checks the list of items defined in a pre-calculation. If the same item is in the pre-calculation several times, in the previous version, the system tried to apply the coverage calculation for every item, but the order of duplicated items was wrong. The system was covering the last entry of the list before the first one. The situation generated a wrong view in the details because you could see several lines of the pre-calculation for the same item, and the coverage was applied to the last line. Now, when MRP must calculate requirement coverage for a pre-calculation with the same item duplicated several times, the system covers this requirement in an improved way. In the past, creating a new item was not optimal. The position was always on the top left and it was easy to move wrong items, which consequently resulted in an incorrect view. In the Elements section, all columns were visible. All UDF fields, user fields, and other fields, which were invisible in other tables. Now, the creation of new items is simpler. In Edit Item Placement tool, click on the new function, New Item. Now you can choose the type, column, text, compute, button, and bitmap. insert all needed parameters, user field, title, or other related to the type, and click on one of the top right left bottom buttons to place the new item. After you click OK in this pop-up window, the original window changes the color and is now in click mode. Click on the element on which you want to place your new element. Don't click on label. Click on the element, the edit field, if you place a new column, top bottom of another column. Then click on the edit field and not on the label of this field. The system displays the new element directly, and you can change additional properties of this new field. On display of columns and object types, see our documentation. As a limitation, this works only on simple forms. Sublists, windows with different subforms or ribbon bars are not changeable. Before, all changeable items were directly movable or resizable. Now you can only move or resize the element which has the actual focus. As for moving an object, if the element does not have the big border, hold the Ctrl key and double-click on this element. Before, if you moved an item inside an item from the same type, the system placed this item automatically on the button overlapped item. Now, if the top left corner from the border of the moved item is inside the other item, the system places it on the bottom of the other item. If only the bottom left corner of the border of the moved item is inside the other item, the system places it on top of the other item. As another improvement, you can move a field with key left top right button. Now you can only select the field which is currently visible in the view. You can choose the item in the drop-down list or via Ctrl and double-click in the related window. UDFs and user fields are not visible. For this, the new function New Item is available. Please note, if the Edit Item Placement tool window is not opened and you make a Ctrl double-click on an item, the system opens the tool window automatically and allows you to change this item. Now you can choose DW Master as data window. The DW Master provides access to all buttons and right mouse click. You can also catch all button events. Please note that it's not possible to use this function in SAP forms, for example sales forms. For this, please use Boyum Business One Usability Package. Also, it's not possible to catch user events. For this, please use Beas add-on area user events. Up to now, Beas function print work order allowed the printing of only one specific position. In the past, the work order document number and position were mandatory. Now only the work order document number is mandatory. If work order position is defined with 0 or it is empty, the system prints all work order positions. Please note that for every position, the system opens a new window. For print, every work order position is a separate print document. In WMS, you can define the batch attributes code. With the new add-on, the system supports this in manual receipt processes, collective receipt, work order backflushing, and production time receipt. Here, Beas saves all attributes correctly behind the WMS batch attributes. Please note that this is only supported by the desktop version. Currently, there is no Beas web app support for WMS batch attributes. The newly released SAP Business One 10 FP2111 brought with it an unannounced breaking change in the related Crystal Report runtime version, as the backend files had been moved to another location in the file structure and the raw files had been changed. Now we have a solution also implemented in the Beas core, and new libraries are installed automatically with the current version. For further details, please read the following article. Since Beas 2021.11 with XML support, you had to restart SAP Business One if you changed the menu type or reloaded the Beas add-on. Now there is no need to restart Beas or SAP after changing the menu type. This concludes our video on the new features, existing feature and system improvements and fixes of Boyum IT's Beas Manufacturing 2022.02. We encourage you to upgrade to this latest version of our solution and to keep in touch concerning any questions you might have. Please visit our community on the link below and stay tuned for our upcoming videos.